Spider-Man has faced demons that are more scary than your parents when you show them a bad grade. But this time around, this piece of tartar sauce didn't face someone, but he faced something. And that was a full-blown Big Mac Tsunami. And I'm not lying when I say he couldn't win this fight, because when the Tsunami died, things didn't end well for Peter in the Ultimate Spider-Man comic series. So the story starts with Aunt May being investigated by the Paw Patrol, because they think that May has some sort of association with Spider-Man, and they're trying to urge her to reveal who he is. But May says that she has no clue who Spider-Man is. But suddenly, the room started to get shaky, lights were going out, and everyone's Disney Plus subscriptions were getting botched. So May decided to check what was going on while the cops were not seeing her, and turns out she saw a massive boat in the middle of the road. And you know what that means? It means that this is the outcome of a big, bolstering tsunami, and Spider-Man is now trying his best to save anyone and everyone he can. But the thing is that he's confused, because usually cities are warned that a tsunami is coming so they could evacuate, but this water vomit came out of nowhere, and he quite literally doesn't know what to do. Like, he saved a woman from the flood, who then asked what she should do, and Peter just doesn't know. But suddenly, he's getting little telepathic farts in his head, and it turns out Professor X is talking to Spider-Man to reveal some crucial information about this water park. And it turns out that this tsunami wasn't made naturally, it was made physically, but none other than Magneto, who just wanted to commit another attack on humans and make sure mutants are the only Smurfs walking around Earth. So after hearing this, Xavier tells him where he's at and urges him to stop Magneto. But this bald fossil doesn't understand that Peter is currently trying to save New York, and he doesn't have any time for Magneto, because no other heroes exist in the story. It's only Spider-Man doing all the work. But it looks like I'm going to be deep-throating my words, because after saving someone, getting asked so many questions, and having his mind explode from stress, it turns out he's going to get a little help from none other than Kitty Pryde, who is also trying to get as many people as she can to safety. But she's not the only wet wipe who's committing acts of heroism, because Aunt May is also on this movie set trying to help as many people as she can. But suddenly, a massive explosion came out of this guy's nostrils, causing a lot of destruction, and also caused an electrical pillar to fall on top of her. But out of nowhere, Spider-Woman comes in to save May. But the thing is that Spider-Woman called May Aunt May, and she clings onto those two words like she's riding a mechanical bull, because she wants to know who Spider-Woman is. But Spider-Woman can't get into details because of this water EDM festival going down, and she needs to help Spider-Man, who, speaking of which, has just come across the Hulk, and he is breaking his trousers because he doesn't know if this Hulk will help him or get angry and turn New York into a daycare. So Peter is trying to explain to him in really broken English that Hulk is wet and that's because of a flood. So please, as a friend, are you going to help me get rid of this cringe? But suddenly, a random goober couldn't shut their sweet bippy because they needed help, and Spider-Man was going to do that. But this time through a zipline. But that person somehow lost grip of the zipline, but luckily, Hulk was there to catch her. So it looks like he is here to help, and thank God he is, because a fire randomly occurred, which Hulk was able to waft away by clapping some cheeks. So after this duo did a little bit of saving, they suddenly came across a deceased friend, and that friend is Daredevil. But apparently, the situation was so bad, it made Hulk turn into Bruce Banner, who's now in a temper tantrum and took a long snort of imposter syndrome because he thinks that this flood is his fault. And this self-hatred is making him rage, and Peter is trying to calm him down, but it was all too late, because now he's got a bulky gray piece of poop trying to kill Spider-Man. But to make matters even worse, this flood destroyed the Sanctum Sanctorum, but beyond that, it opened the prison that holds every single demon Doctor Strange has ever captured. So you see, Spider-Duck is dealing with the flood, then the Hulk, and now he has to deal with every villain Strange has ever fought. But guess bloody what? On top of these three problems, these three stupid homework assignments, Peter has to deal with Strange himself, because unfortunately, this goldfish has been mind-controlled by one of his villains named Nightmare. So now that's 4 problems for this jelly bean. He's dealing with more garbage than a landfill right now. But anyways, Strange entrances both Peter and Hulk and subjects them to face their worst nightmares, with Hulk being hated by everyone and Peter fighting all of his foes again. But he is trying, and I mean really trying, to fight this illusion, but this wet dream is too real and too physical for Spider-Man. But all of a sudden, something very bad happens, and that's the appearance of Nightmare himself, who's teabagging right in front of Peter, and also doesn't look to see the Hulk right behind him and ripping him apart. And now, Peter has to deal with a 5th problem, and that's a nuclear-sized explosion because of Nightmare's death. And obviously, this is not good. So Spider-Woman tries her best to swing around the city and save as many people as possible, which she is successfully able to do thanks to some help from Kitty Pryde. But now they need to look for Spider-Man. But it turns out, this tsunami got the best of Peter, because Mother Nature decided to give one more stinky dookie onto the heroes' faces and leave behind something terrifying. And that's Peter's mask on the ground. And these two were very worried. So they tried calling out for Peter, but they got no response. So eventually, they just gave up and broke the news to May, MJ, and Gwen that Peter is probably dead. And yeah, that's it. Bye.